On average, economists are looking for 15,000 as a magic number. That would be the increase in payrolls, while the jobless rate, it's seen holding above 10% for a third straight month. Our next guest's forecast is a lot darker. We welcome James Shugg. He's a senior economist at Westpac Banking, once again to the program, and he joins us now live from London. James, you were the most accurate forecaster for the last report when the economy lost 85,000 jobs. Why are you looking for a job loss here when the consensus is positive?
Well, hi, Scarlet. Thanks for that flattering but not inaccurate introduction. Look, there are two main factors behind our negative forecast, minus 40,000 for payrolls this month. Firstly, small business, the indications are that they are still not hiring, and you're not going to see a sustained jobs recovery emerge in the United States until the small business sector is getting financing again and is able to hire more workers. That's not happening yet. Secondly, the weather was particularly bad in January. We think even in the south, which normally isn't that disrupted by winter weather, there was some real disruption mid-month, and so we think the weather factor will be a negative for payrolls too. So those two factors we think are strong enough to justify our negative forecast.
The weather kind of an atypical factor when you talk about jobs report. How much can investors then read into this particular jobs report?
It's a good question, Scarlet, because the January payrolls report every year is the hardest one to predict. The Bureau of Labour Statistics today will publish benchmarking revisions which will change recent history going back 5 years. The seasonal factor for January is the biggest of any month. They add something like 3 million jobs to the original number to get the seasonally adjusted one. But because we don't know what the new seasonal factors are, we can't be exactly sure about that. And added to that uncertainty this year, we've got the census jobs. We know that in the current quarter, 180,000 census workers will be hired, but we don't know how many in January. So there's lots of uncertainty about this report. Don't focus just on the headline. Look very much at the detail, and then you'll get a better feel for what the underlying story is.
So how much of a read will it provide into the economy?
Well, if we're right and we do see a fall in payrolls, it will confirm that we're not yet in a jobs-creating recovery, even though we've seen 2 decent quarters of economic growth. I've got to say though, Scarlet, back in 2001, after that recession, the US economy didn't start to put on jobs in a sustainable way until 2003, which was when the small business sector started hiring again. So our sense is that regardless of what today's jobs number shows, the outlook for employment in the US does remain quite bleak going forward, aside from the temporary boost from census jobs, which we're going to get over the next couple of quarters.
Okay, thank you so much for your thoughts. We've been speaking with James Shugg. He's a senior economist at Westpac Banking over in London.